Okay, so Brett Favre is taking Shannon Sharpe and Pat McAfee to court, and this is going to be a defamation lawsuit. Now, allegedly, Brett Favre was part of a scam to defraud the government in Mississippi. Now, allegedly, he took millions of dollars from a school, promised this school that he was going to do various things for that university, and never met those promises. Now, this was pretty big a couple of years back, and I remember Shannon Sharpe just going at Brett Favre. I mean, just taking it to the head at Brett Favre, talking about he's stealing money from the poorest of the poor, utilizing his name to get public funding for his daughter. When his daughter, I still think his daughter attends this school. She was on the volleyball team. They was going to make a practice facility for the volleyball team as long as Brett Favre do speaking engagements and things of that nature. And hundreds of people have pled guilty to these charges. Now, Brett Favre still to this day has not been charged with a crime. And I remember Shannon Sharpe just talking about this on Undisputed, and he was really going in at Brett Favre. It was almost, he was taking it very, very personal. Now, Pat McAfee, I don't really watch Pat McAfee. I had to go on YouTube and check out what he said. But, basically, Pat McAfee was trolling in tongue-in-cheek. No one wasn't really adding substance to what they were accusing Brett Favre of. Now, before I go and continue any further, I'm not a Brett Favre supporter. I do believe Brett Favre did do something wrong. I think he is responsible for something, but he has not been charged with a crime. Now, also in this article, Brett Favre is being sued because of his responsibility, just being around these public figures that pled guilty. Now, Shannon Sharpe, still to this day, is still standing on his square. He believed that the comments he made about Brett Favre was justified. Now, Fox Sports 1 is also part in this defamation lawsuit. And ever since they talked about it on Undisputed, there have been no rebuttals thus far. So I feel like, I believe that Fox Sports 1 has put the clamps on this, have told Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless to not engage into this topic no more, because of Fox Sports 1 and Shannon Sharpe, plus Pat McAfee. Even though Pat McAfee is not hired by Fox Sports 1, they're all part of this defamation lawsuit. And just because you file a defamation lawsuit doesn't mean that you're going to win. I mean, you have to prove when your day comes, you have to prove without a shadow of a doubt that these three entities, pretty much did what you're accusing them of doing. Anyone can file a defamation lawsuit. Do you have the proof? But if you've been paying attention, Fox Sports 1 hasn't engaged in this. Shannon Sharpe has not engaged into this on Fox Sports 1, as well as on social media. He's done talking about it. And, Shannon Sharpe is also, his name, he's got a lot of stuff to explain, not only with the Brett Favre thing, but there have been some accusations out there. If you watch Tasha K, and I'm not a huge fan of Tasha K, but Tasha K got a story floating around about Shannon Sharpe. I'm not going to go into it. But Shannon Sharpe has not engaged any talks as far as him and Brett Favre. So that's just telling me that his legal team, Fox Sports 1's legal team, is telling everyone to just stop talking about it until we figure this thing out. Now, I will say again, Brett Favre has not been charged with a crime. Now, that could simply mean that he's going to be a grand witness for the other people that want to have their day in court to prove without a shadow of a doubt they are not guilty. And maybe he's part of some witness situation with the federal government. That could be 100% true, but once again, we don't have any information as far as him testifying against these individuals. When I heard about this, I didn't really get into it. I really didn't even do no video on it because it was just so many loose ends that were not tied down. It was just speculations. There was really no hardcore evidence other than Brett Favre texting one of the officials who was part of this scheme about his money. But yeah, the text showed that he knew this individual, and they did talk about money, but they didn't break it down where they was going to get the money from. Now, a lot of people are taking these text messages and jumping and leaping to their own conclusion, and that's fine. But that's the hardest core evidence I found, and that's why I really didn't want to address this on a live stream or in a video, because I didn't want to stand on something that ultimately I'm going to have to fall back and talk about it or make excuses or whatnot. Everyone loves to jump in onto a story with both feet dangling in the air, only to find out you have no place to jump to. I felt like Shannon Sharpe was jumping to conclusions. Shannon Sharpe is a very passionate individual. You guys know I'm not a huge fan of Shannon Sharpe. I respect Shannon Sharpe as a person. I respect Shannon Sharpe as a personality, and not only in social media but in sports entertainment. I feel like he's one of the guys that's going to get a huge payday, if not with Fox Sports 1, definitely with ESPN. So he's going to be coveted. However, I felt like sometimes Shannon Sharpe's emotions, sometimes get the best of him. And sometimes he'll say things that he's going to have to turn around and do an about face and apologize for. The Richard Jefferson's comments about him being late, Jay Williams comments, about him being lazy. He had to do an about face and apologize about that. So Shannon Sharpe has made some comments over the years that he had to turn around and humbly apologize, because he just leaps to a conclusion based on his emotion. And I felt like when he was, and I remember this segment, he was in preacher mode, and he was basically shaming Brett Favre. I think there's a little animosity between Shannon Sharpe and Brett Favre. I don't think it's because of this situation. I just think this situation added another log to the fire. But I think there is some animosity towards Shannon Sharpe and Brett Favre, and it's personal. I think Shannon Sharpe takes personal jabs at Brett Favre on a public platform such as Fox Sports 1, on a hit show. The only hit show Fox Sports 1 has is Undisputed. And maybe he went a little bit too much, all right? With no proof, no real solid evidence that links Brett Favre as the guy who is scamming or defrauding this university. But that's why I didn't want to talk when it first jumped out 2 years ago. I didn't really talk too much about it. I may have said it in a live stream in passing, but and I also feel like Brett Favre has done some wrongdoings in this. Now, it's he did something criminally injustice. I don't know about that until he gets his day in court and we get all the evidence in front of us. Then we can reach a conclusion. But that's why I tell people, particularly on as content providers, if you don't have all of the information, it's just best for you to not say anything. All right. Now, you can speculate, and as long as you use the allegedly, quotations when you're talking about it, and then you add your opinions to it, then you can soften it up a little bit. But I felt like Shannon Sharpe really was passionately involved in this and made a lot of statements that unfortunately, if it's proven that Brett Favre is right in this defamation lawsuit, I mean, he could be right in this defamation lawsuit and still lose the lawsuit, but to save face with Fox Sports 1, he will have to humbly apologize, and which Shannon Sharpe has no issue of doing that. Now, Skip Bayless, on the other hand, he doesn't apologize for anything. He feels like he's right 100% of the time, whatever. But Shannon Sharpe would, if he has to apologize, Shannon Sharpe is man enough to apologize, because he has a lot to lose if he doesn't apologize. So that's pretty much that story. I'm gonna have the article in the description. Guys, comment in the comment section. That's your domain. If you feel like I'm right, you feel like I'm wrong, particularly about this topic, just comment. Tell me what I'm wrong about. Tell me what I'm right about. As always, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this content with your friends, family, and followers. I will see you guys on the flip side. Deuces.